Hey y'all, welcome to the Style Chronicles. Thought I would record my November favorites. Now I'm going to do my best this month not to confuse myself and say that it's any other month's favorites, because last month I was all over the place with the month. I think I was like, it was October's favorites and I called it September favorites and then I called it November. I think I even called it December favorites. Anyhow, I'm going to try not to do that. I don't know why. I was spastic last month. This month, November, my favorite products of the month. It is always typical of me. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm watching my daughter over here. She's like doing her own thing. Anyway, I've tried recording this video 3 times. The first 2 times, both my kids are sick. They have colds. First 2 times, my son was just like wailing because he just doesn't feel good. So, yeah, I stopped because it was just kind of, I was just trying to do too much. So anyhow, back to what I was talking about. Every winter I resort back to a full-on moisturizer for my skin, just because even though it's not cold here, it really has not been cold here in Houston up until like the past week. Maybe it's been a little chilly, but I know we're getting like freezing weather next week. Anyhow, so for the most part the month of November was pretty muggy, which is surprising that my skin would get so dry. I guess just, I don't know, my skin knows when it's winter in the rest of the world, so yeah, it gets dry. But Lubriderm Advanced Therapy Lotion, I go back to this every single winter. And Lubriderm is just a good old standby. You know, my dad always had Lubriderm in his bathroom growing up for his skin. And he would put it, I mean, he would even put it on his face. He'd put it everywhere. I mean, his face, his hands, his feet, everything. You know, my dad, I don't know, my dad shakes a lot of hands, and he's got this thing about, he doesn't want his hands to be, you know, very rough. If you've ever shaken anybody's hands and you get a rough hand, you know what I'm talking about. So he's always used Lubriderm. And growing up, I remember Lubriderm, it was always, you know, in a blue, well, kind of clear, and then like the blue letters, and this was blue, and this was kind of a cream color. And to me, it always had a little bit of a greasy feel. This one does not have any. I put it on, and like within a couple seconds, it absorbs and it's fine, and I can hold, you know, a glass of water and drink it if I want to, and it doesn't leave a mark on the cup. So I go back to that time and time again. I get the driest on my hands and my feet and my face. Lately, I've had this patch on my back, like mid-back, that just itches me. And I'm constantly asking my husband to look at it to see if there's like a bug bite, or, you know, just tell me what it is. Is there something there? Because it really, really itches. And he's always telling me it's just dry skin. So I put this on there, and I don't itch anymore after that, but I don't know why. Anyhow, so I use that. Now, the other thing that I use is Burt's Bees Buttermilk Lotion. This is 100% natural. This I use on my kids. It is a little bit more expensive than like Johnson's Baby Lotion, but Johnson's Baby Lotion never worked on my daughter. I couldn't use any of the Johnson's Baby products on my daughter. They're supposed to be hypoallergenic, but she always had a bad reaction to them. So I resorted to just Burt's Bees with her when she was little, and with my son, I've only used Burt's Bees. I've never used a Johnson's lotion or shampoo or anything, just because this works for my daughter, and since I use it for her, I already have it, so it was easy just to continue using it on my son. On his hands and feet, and, you know, just on his body after a bath, so that he keeps, you know, moisturized and doesn't get too dry. Since it's all natural, I don't worry about him putting his fingers in his mouth, because he likes to chew on his hands or his arm. Since it's natural, I don't worry about him consuming anything he shouldn't, as well, you know, as my daughter, because they get just as dry as I do. So those 2 things for sure. Next up would be a facial moisturizer. I bought this at the end of October. Yeah, at the end of October, because I ran out of, I had been using like a Vino's moisturizer, and that, it leaves me very greasy, so my oiliness kind of pops through, you know, a lot earlier in the day, because it's pretty greasy when I put it on. So I went into the drugstore looking for a moisturizer that was formulated for oily skin, which is really hard to do. You can read all the labels and nobody ever says anything about moisturizing oily skin. But I found this one, and it's Neutrogena's Oil-Free Moisture for Combination Skin. And it's oil-free, which is something you look at. But then on here it says, it's clinically proven to normalize combination skin, moisturizing dry areas while controlling shine in oily areas. So that caught my attention, and I bought this. Clinically proven oil-absorbing system controls oil and shine in the T-zone for a natural matte finish all day. I figured, okay, if it says it does that, then, you know, I have to, that's the moisturizer I need to be using, because I do have very oily skin, like here, where my 3 fingers are, down my nose, on the sides of my nose, right here, and right here. These areas of my face get really dry. So, you know, it's like a toss-up. So that caught my attention. That's what I use this. And then I think I was watching Teresa's video, Risa777's video, like a week or two later, and she was using the exact, I believe it's the exact same moisturizer. So I figured that was a great choice because I know she's got oily skin too. Now, this doesn't go on matte. I mean, you know, I put it on, it absorbs in the areas it needs to absorb. My T-zone is always very shiny though after I put it on. So it does, I think, have some oil control properties in it, but I would just base it on this premise. It is better for oily skin than a regular moisturizer. It won't leave you as greasy, but it doesn't control the oil the way that you would hope it would. So I would use it as a step, but not your only oil control product, because you definitely need something else underneath it. So with that in mind, I got the Origin Zero Oil Instant Matte Finish for Shiny Places. I put this on first, then I put this on only in the areas I need it. Pour a little bit out into my palm, and then I put it here, 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 and here, like I told you guys. And that's the only places. I don't put it anywhere else. This, when it rests for a long time, like I use it in the morning and then it rests all day and all night, it settles and there's a white powdery substance down here and the liquid up here. So every morning I have to get up and shake, 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 shake before I can use it or apply it. Now, that takes a good, I would even go as far as to say it takes a minute to shake it together to get the product to really emulsify, to really mix together so that you can use it, which is a pain. And the reviews I read, everybody hates that. They hate the separation. They hate having to shake it. I think if you don't shake it enough, that's where the dislike of the product comes in. Because if you shake it the way that I do, or you know, you shake it enough, to me it really works well. Mattifies my skin instantly, and it really does help control the oil throughout the day. It doesn't totally eradicate the oil because it shows up eventually, but it prolongs how long I need to go before actually using like a blot powder or a sheet on my face. So there's that. Next up is my favorite blush. Now, this Strada is my absolute favorite blush. It is no longer a MAC permanent color. They discontinued it. I told you, I think in my video last night, this is the first blush that I ever bought from MAC, so it has a special place in my heart. I wore it for years, literally years, and I would repurchase it every time I ran out and absolutely adored it. And then they discontinued it and I couldn't get it. Now, every now and then they will release it with a collection, a special collection. Makeup Never Sleeps actually told me that in a comment yesterday that it was a pro color, which I had no idea. I didn't even know MAC Pro existed for a very long time. So I had no idea, and I'm disappointed because I could have been buying it all those years as a pro color if I had ordered, you know, through their number. But I didn't know that. So my favorite blush ever, and I don't wear it because it is so hard to get. Now, I read in, I think it was Tiptalia, that it was going to be released with the Gareth Pugh collection of makeup. So I knew, it was like marked on my calendar, I knew the day, I got the email, I went and I ordered my blush. Now, $30, mind you. This blush, you know, these are what, like $19.50? Back when they had this, like back when I bought this one, they weren't $19.50, they were like $16. I don't know if you guys remember when MAC's blushes were only $16. I know they're $16 in the refill now, but these with the packaging used to be $16. They've increased their prices considerably. Anyhow, this one cost me only $16 last time I bought it. This one, this little bitty one. Now the packaging is really pretty. I can't complain about the packaging. Little bitty Strada blush that I love because it's my favorite blush color ever. Now the packaging is so pretty. It's like, it's hard. And it has this, you peel this off, and it's got this real pretty, okay. It's got a mirror, but look at that. This little bitty blush cost me $30. 30 bucks. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. It's like half the size of this one and costs double the amount, which I am just, but I had to have it because it is my absolute favorite blush ever. Look at the pattern. The pattern's really pretty too. And And Gareth Pugh is an awesome designer. I do, you know, have to admit he's an awesome designer. Now listen to it. It is so, like, I wish MAC packaging was like this all the time. Of course, it would probably make it extremely expensive, which is probably $16 worth of packaging. Anyhow, had to do it because it's just, like I said, my absolute favorite. So since I knew I was going to have a backup of it, I've been using this blush, which I have on right now, this blush for the majority of the month. Only because psychologically I knew, okay, I've got a backup so I can use it now. Which means that I will use it up, and then this one I probably will never touch because I'll hoard it since I don't know when it will be re-released. That is what I do with products that I love. I don't use them. I just don't use them because I'm scared that I'm going to run out and never be able to find it again. Crazy, I know. Okay, so the eyeshadow of the month that I've been using is my Chanel Taupe Gris. This is like my everyday color. I've used it over and over again the whole month, as well as the Chanel's Illusion D'Ombre in Illusoire, like I've showed you guys and told you and showed you in videos. I absolutely adore this color. It is one of 3 that I have in my collection that I absolutely, truly adore. It's just beautiful. So there's those. Sorry. Now, my MAC eyeshadows that have been heavily rotated this month, let me show you guys, are, this is Brule, Coquette, and Soft Brown, which is right there. Just like every day, you know, if I am doing the Taupe Gris, I just do Brule. If I want more of a soft brown, then I do the Coquette. And I always use this soft brown to blend out. So today I've got on soft brown to blend and Coquette and Brule, and that's it. So those are just, you know, every now and then if I want to darken up my crease a little bit, I'll use Sketch, but that's it. Those 3 colors. Trying to figure out, oh, I got a sample of Estee Lauder's Doublewear foundation. I'm running out. I used it all week and I really do like it. I really, really do love this foundation. So I'm hoping to get a full size. But it is a monthly favorite because, like I said, I've had it for 3 weeks now and I've used it at least once a week every week, and then I've used it 5 days in a row last week, and I love. The next thing is my MAC Bare Steady Paint Pot. I love this. If you are very fair, I am very, very fair. I am in an NC15 in MAC's color range. If you're very fair, this one blends so beautifully with your skin. It does have a little shimmer to it, so it works well with the products that have a little bit more shimmer. Like if you're going to do shimmery, like this is All That Glitters. If you're going to do shimmery eyeshadows like that one, that works so beautifully as a base. It works really well with my CoverGirl Shimmering Sands Trio also. If you want more of a matte, like when I use Brule, I'm typically going for more of a matte look, then I don't use this as a primer, but beautiful, like I said, especially if you have lighter skin. Painterly is too dark for my skin tone. Even though it is one of the most popular paint pots that MAC sells, it is a little too dark for my skin tone to look natural on my eyes. So this is the one that I go for that look. Okay, I've got this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circles Eraser. This is the treatment concealer with goji berry and haloxy. I've got Light Pale. The color match is perfect. It is the lightest one they make. However, and everybody raves about this, and I understand why, you know, you would rave about it. If you have very dark circles, which I have very, very dark circles under my eyes, part of heredity, part of my sinus problems, part of my allergies, partly probably because I don't get enough sleep. It's a combination of just factors. My skin is very pale, so things show through. I mean, you can see veins in my face very easily. So naturally, my dark circles are really, really bad. They are purpley, blue, red, if that makes any sense. Now, I do a very good job of concealing them with the concealers that I have. Thought I would use this every single day because everybody raves about it so much, and I can see, I really can. The formula is great and everything. It is too thin though. It's too thin. I'll just leave it at that for somebody who has extremely dark circles. At least it doesn't bring my skin up to the tone or the color that I like when I like my eyes concealed. You know, I like this where it literally blends with the rest of my skin. I don't like any shadow or, you know, anything. And when I use this only by itself, it does conceal. I mean, it does bring the color up a little bit, but it doesn't totally erase my dark circles. But it does work well as a concealer primer, if that makes any sense. So I will put this on before I put on either my Laura Mercier concealer corrector or my MAC, what is it, the one in the pot, can't think of the name of it, but it's the concealer in the pot, the Studio Fix line concealer, and it works well as that. It brings the color up a little bit, and then I can really conceal with that, and my circles are gone. But I was really hoping that it would, you know, really conceal everything, and if my circles were lighter, it would conceal completely, and I would probably really, really love and believe in this concealer wholeheartedly. But since it only brings the color up a little bit, it doesn't completely erase my dark circles. I can't love it as much as everybody else does. But that's, you know, it's my fault because my circles are so dark. Anyhow, so there's that. Next up would be, oh, that's the thing from Taupe. Okay. My chapsticks that I use. Ooh, sorry. This is the one that I use every night before I go to bed, or anytime I walk into my bathroom at night. I'll put this on. I keep it on my counter. It's just the Burt's Bees Honey Lip Balm. Got it on right now. It smells like honey. It really does moisturize. I can sleep with it on. It doesn't bother me while I sleep. The one I carry with me all the time is the Pangea Organics Egyptian Fennel with Sweet Orange. All the time. It goes everywhere with me. Now, my lip colors of the month. This by far, I have it on right now. Rouge Volupte. It's YSL's Rouge Volupte in Pink Lingerie. That is like just the color that has been in my diaper bag that I swipe all the time. Every day during the week, pretty much. This is not it. This is Pink in the Afternoon, but I've been wearing Primrose, Revlon's Primrose during the week. I'm sorry, I don't know why I grabbed that one. Anyhow, so those are my favorites of the month. Oh, and this necklace. I am in love with this necklace. This necklace is from a lady. Her name is Michelle. Her Etsy store is Chic by Michelle. If you do the Etsy.com, Chic by Michelle / Chic by Michelle. I don't have, oh, here it is. Okay. There's her card. But it's chicbymichelle.etsy.com. This necklace, it's beautiful, and I purchased it. I want to say this one was $90, but I love it. It's the 5-foot gold chain. It's round. I mean, it's just beautiful. So hopefully I can get the silver one this month, but just thought I'd share that with you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.